So electromagnetic induction this will be proved by Henry and Faraday after carrying so many experiments. That means series of experiments. So the first experiment, so Faraday and Henry's Michael Faraday and Henry experiment, a simple experiment. Say he proved the electromagnetic induction. They take a bar magnet N and S, north and south poles, and they make a coil. With the coil consists number of turns with a galvanometer. So this magnet will be north pole faced towards the coil. So when the magnet and coil are in state of rest, there is no deflection in the galvanometer. They do not observe any deflection in the galvanometer. When magnet is moved towards the coil, they observe the deflection in galvanometer. That means EMF, electromotive force, is set up in the coil. When they move away from the coil, the magnet, again they can observe the deflection in galvanometer, but it will be opposite direction with the, while comparing with the previous case. So that means when the magnet will be in continuous or rapid motion, they can absorb the repeated deflection in the galvanometer. Suppose if they keep this magnet will be stationary, and if they move coil to and fro, again they can observe the deflection in the galvanometer. That means either magnet or coil or both are in motion, to and fro motion, there will be electromotive force set up in the coil. Due to this electromotive force, we can observe deflection in the galvanometer. So this is the experiment, first experiment. So to find electromagnetic induction by this Faraday and Henry's experiment. So and one more experiment they are given by using a simple one more experiment. So that will be like this. Say coil. Second experiment. Consisting again galvanometer, and here one more circuit consisting a battery, a number of turns wounded on the soft iron bar. Okay. And again, these are magnetic lines or magnetic field. When this second circuit consists a battery, first circuit consists a coil and a galvanometer. When the switch key is pressed, so this current passes through this coil and produces magnetic field perpendicular to it. When they move this, let us say this is the circuit C2, this is C1. C1 is held stationary and C2 is moving first towards the C1. We can observe the deflection in the galvanometer. That means magnetic flux linked with the coil will be changes due to and fro motion. Suppose if you move in a reverse direction, again we can observe the deflection in galvanometer, but it will be opposite direction to the first case. That means so current carrying wire produces magnetic field around it. We already are discussed in the previous class, which is always perpendicular to it. So this magnetic field can, due to the change in magnetic field, continuous change in magnetic field linked with the coil, so EMF is generated, and due to this EMF, we can observe deflection in the galvanometer. Suppose if you C1 and C2 are held in rest, we cannot observe any deflection in the galvanometer. Suppose if C2 will be held in stationary, if you move the C1 to and fro, that means moves to and fro towards the C2 and away from the C2, then again you can observe the deflection in the galvanometer. That means either C1 or C2 will be moved. That means to and fro motion, we can observe the deflection in galvanometer. EMF will be set up in the coil due to the continuous change of magnetic flux linked with the coil. This is the second case or second experiment. So one more experiment, that means third experiment also there. That is on the wooden pole. They are taken two simple circuits on the wooden pole. This is the primary. That means turns, number of turns of the coil. So here they are connected a galvanometer, and this right side also there are wounded number of turns on the wooden bar. It consists a cell with a key. So that means when they press the key, it continuing. Second circuit can consist a battery and a key. Let us say this is C1 and this is C2. Okay. So when they press the key, magnetic when current passes through this inductor, that means through the coil. Okay, magnetic flux, that means magnetic field will be generated perpendicular to it. So when they press the key, due to this magnetic flux linked with this coil, EMF is generated in the galvanometer. Galvanometer shows the deflection. Suppose if again they open the circuit, again it will be no deflection in the galvanometer. Again if they press the key, again we can observe the deflection in the galvanometer. That means this magnetic flux linked with this coil will be changes and EMF will be generated in the galvanometer. Suppose if you replace this wooden bar with iron bar, large deflections will be observed in the galvanometer. This is the third experiment. Totally 3 experiments are conducted by this Faraday and Henry, and they observe the relation between electric and magnetic field and electromagnetic induction. So these are the experiments. So in Henry and Faraday, after this Henry and Faraday experiments, so this electromagnetic induction, the application, the best application for this electromagnetic induction, we are using now AC current in our household circuits. So the AC generator, so works on the principle of electromagnetic induction. If one single coil, so like this, galvanometer and a bar magnet N and S. So that means here, so due to the motion of to and fro motion of the bar magnet, EMF is generated in the coil. We can observe the deflection in galvanometer. This is the self-induction. That means induced EMF is produced in the same coil due to the relative motion of the magnet. That is called self-induction. In case of, suppose if you take out this magnet and keeping a coil, one more coil consisting a battery and a key. So here also now when you press the key, here also magnetic field will be produced. Suppose if you move this coil towards to and fro above or to and fro motion of this coil, again EMF is generated. Now this is called mutual induction. That means induced EMF is produced due to the relative motion between the two coils is nothing but mutual induction. That means there will be two, self-induction and the mutual induction. Now how this AC generator works, what are the important parts in AC generator? We can study about AC generator. So it consists two concave shaped magnetic poles, and inside there is a rectangular armature coil. It consists a shaft. At the end of the shafts, it consists slip rings. These slip rings are pressed against with carbon brushes. So slip rings are R1 and R2. Carbon brushes are B1 and B2. See the load resistor we have to take and the output. So okay. Name of this coil is rectangular coil is ABCD. Okay. So what are the important parts here? So one is that armature coil, two magnets provides radial magnetic field, two slip rings R1 and R2, they are connected with the armature coil shaft, they rotate with the armature coil shaft. So two carbon brushes, they are pressed against this metallic rings. They do not revolve, but they press the rings. So we can take out the output through the load resistor RL. So what is the working? When armature coil is rotated, so between the two magnetic poles which provide stationary magnetic field or radial magnetic field, the magnetic flux linked with the coil changes continuously. Due to this, EMF will be set up, electromotive force will be set up and passes in first half rotation, it will be passes and EMF will be comes out through the B1. For every half rotation, the direction of EMF, the direction of current will be changes. So that's why it is called alternating currents or AC. Alternating currents or AC. We can take out this output through the load resistor RL. Once again, an armature coil will be rotated. So this armature coil will be rotated. There will be actually two types of power plants are there. That will be hydroelectric power plant and thermal power plant. In thermal power plant, water will be heated and the heated water becomes into the steam. The steam pressure, the kinetic energy of that steam is used to rotate this armature. So armature behind this there will be some turbine blades. The turbine blades will be rotated with the help of kinetic energy of the steam pressure. So when this armature coil rotates, so AC will be, alternating currents will be produced. In case of hydroelectric power plant, so water kinetic energy. So they are using the kinetic energy of water. So they can rotate the turbine blades. The turbine blades are connected to this armature. So the armature will be rotated in between the two permanent magnets. So the magnetic flux linked with the coil will be changes continuously and alternating currents will be set up. Okay. So now nuclear power is also using. So there will be also, so the collision of this high, that means high radioactive elements like uranium, so collide with the fast moving neutrons, it will be break up into two unequal fragments. Okay, along with that three fast moving neutrons and large amount of heat also released. That heat energy will be utilized to heat the water. So water will be converted into steam. The steam pressure again used to rotate the turbine blades. That will be nuclear power plant. That means totally hydroelectric power and thermal power, and mainly we are dependent on these two. And also in some states nuclear power plant also. In Tamil Nadu, mainly in Kalpakam, there is a nuclear power plant. So they are chemicals are using, that means radioactive materials are using to make this nuclear energy. Along with so many other alternative sources are there. Tidal energy, that means wind energy. Now they are using garbage and husk. Also they are using to make the power, electric power. Stored in a solenoid. Okay, how to find out the expression for magnetic energy stored in a solenoid? So they are given a small circuit here. So wire will be in the form of a coil, is an inductor, current passing wire. So a battery with a key, okay, current I. Okay, now from when current flows through this inductor, induced inductance L and EMF induced in it is given by induced EMF E is equal to minus L di by dt. Change in current with change in time, where L is the inductance. Why they are negative sign? EMF is always opposes the passage of current. That's why we are considering negative sign. Okay. Again, small amount of work done, dW, will be equal to E dq, where dq is nothing but a small amount of charge. Okay. This is the equation number 1. This is equation number 2. Now, from equations 1 and 2, E equal to, take the magnitude of, only magnitude, L di by dt, see the equation 1. So equation 2, dW is equal to E dq. So dW is equal to, E value will be, only take the magnitude di by dt of dq. Okay, but we know that change in rate of change of charge is nothing but current I. So that means it becomes dW is equal to L I d I. Li di. To get the total work done, the work done will be stored in the form of potential energy. Integrate the equation number 3. So now we can integrate the equation 3. Integrate dW. So integrate from 0 to I naught is the limits. Li di. So it becomes total work done L, and it becomes I square by 2 on integrating 0 to I naught. Then it becomes L I naught square by 2, or W is equal to of L I naught square. So work done will be stored in the form of potential energy. So work done will be stored in the form of potential energy in the magnetic field. So energy, potential energy formula U is equal to of L I naught square. This is the formula to find the potential energy stored in the form of magnetic field. So on the basis of this, we can solve one problem by using the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. A small problem. Note down the problem. Current in a circuit Current in a circuit falls from 5.0 am to 0.0 amps in 0.1 second. If an average EMF average EMF 200 volt induced. Give an estimate of self-inductance of the coil. Here, change in current falls from 5 to 0 amps. That means change in current DI will be equal to 5.0 minus 0.0, that is equal to 5 amp. So change in time, it will be 0.1 second. Electromotive force E is equal to 200 volt. What we have to calculate from this problem? Self-inductance should be denoted with L. L we have to calculate. Formula here E is equal to L di by dt. So E value will be equal to 200. L we don't know. Di will be 5. dt value will be equal to 0.1. That means L into 0.1 means 1 by 10. L, that means 50. So therefore L is equal to 200 by 50. That will be equal to 4. Okay, 4. The units of inductance will be Henry. It will be name of the scientist Henry. So di value will be falls from 5 to 0 till 5 amps. Change in time will be 0.1 second. Electromotive force E 200 volts. L inductance we have to find out. E is equal to L di by dt. Out substituting and simplifying, we get self-inductance L is equal to 4